Okay, there we go. We're recording. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. It's August 26th. It's unbelievable how fast this year is going, and it's a crazy reminder of just how little of the year we have left to really prepare for our biggest months every year in the industry. So we've got a lot of work to do, I think, considering the fact that a lot of people kind of checked out a little bit for the summer. The beauty of owning your own business is you can work it when you want to work it. No one's going to fire you. And, when life happens, it's still going to be here for you when you're ready to return. Hopefully we have some people waking up and ready to just jump back in and get started. And then, of course, I want to give a shout out to the people that never left, the ones that have stayed consistent no matter what, day in and day out. And, I fully believe that doing that, it pays off. It will absolutely pay off. And, it's crazy looking at, I was thinking about the last 12 years that I've been doing network marketing and what my businesses look like. How sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I'm signing all these people and everybody on my team is winning. And then there's other times where it's like, okay, nothing's happening. What's going on? But the one thing that is cool about this industry and about business, if you've ever done a business of any kind, it always comes back around, right? And you always have to be kind of reinventing yourself and finding out new ways to do things. But I keep mentioning every single time I'm, doing a post or on a Zoom that success in this industry is 99% mindset. And then it's 1% action, because once you believe and know and your mind is set on what you're going to achieve, accomplish, there's no time frame. There's no like, oh, if I don't do it, it's how many times I stumble and fail and fall. I'm going to learn from that, push forward, and eventually I'm going to reach my goal, because this is the path. This is what I'm doing. And once you can get your mind in that place where you're deserving of it, where you are capable of it, where you aren't going to use, a way out as an option ever, then success is something that usually happens pretty quickly for people once they get rid of those blocking things, whatever that is in their head that's blocking them from doing that. And I go to all these different retreats and stuff. And, the one thing that I find at these retreats is it's never anything about the business that's holding someone back. It's usually something personal or something in their past or something, a limiting belief, something in them that's not, letting them move to that next place, or not giving them the motivation and inspiration to keep going because they get in their own way, in their own heads. And maybe some of you guys can agree with that. You already know that. And for like a small few, you may be, I've been doing self-development now for 12 years, and I still have to work on it. There's still days where I catch myself saying negative things about myself, and I'm like, nope, stop doing that. Where I still have those limiting beliefs that pop in. We're human. That's going to happen. But the more you self-develop and the more that you learn about it and do it, the less that happens, and the more that you can lay the groundwork for success. Because if you're constantly putting out negative vibes, negative energy, and thinking negatively, even if you're putting out there, oh, great things are going to happen, but inside you truly feel that's not the case, then you're going to continue to draw negative. You're going to continue to stay stuck. And once people break those walls, that's huge. I mean, like, I've watched people be in this industry for 2-3 years that finally break through those walls of belief, and now the only thing they've done different is a ton of self-development, and suddenly their business will start to grow, because we all have the right tools, you guys. We have training videos, and we have a really easy system to get to the top of this company, right? Help everybody you bring in get to customers to thrive for free. If you can help everybody VIP 800 on your team, do you guys realize how fast you go to the top of this company? If every single person that joined your team VIP 800, that right there would take you to the top of the company. Like, It's the simple step of 2 customers, 2 promoters, repeat it. So we've got that in place. We have a comp plan that pays out extremely amazing. Now we just need to figure out, okay, what are those action steps that we need to be doing every day and staying consistent with that are going to get us to the end goal, whatever that is for you. And everybody on here is a little bit different. I don't know if you guys saw, whether you're new or old, whether you've been in with me 5 years. October 15th is a 5th-year anniversary with Lavelle, which is crazy. I cannot believe I've been here this long. Time flies when you are having fun, and helping people and just having the best time ever. But whether you've been in with me since the beginning or you just started today, I want to make sure that everybody's aware of the self-development master course that I'm doing that begins September 1st. I have over almost 600 people now that have joined the Facebook group. The link is in the Dream Team 2021 page. It's also on my Facebook timeline. And there is a workbook that I'm suggesting people get on Amazon. No, I do not make any money off of the workbook. In fact, I actually reached out to the author of the lady that actually created that workbook to see if she would do a call, because I probably just made her $1 billion. But I actually love this workbook. It's like $12. Somebody had messaged me and said, can I still do it if I can't afford to get the workbook? Absolutely. I'm going to make sure. I mean, is it nice to have it? Because there's a lot of activities in there. You're going to be writing it in, and it's like so useful to be able to have it personally right there in front of you. But I don't want that to be a reason that somebody doesn't do this. I will be screenshotting the workbook, anything that, if you, as long as you have a pen and access to a pen and a piece of paper, you're going to be able to do some of these self-development challenges and things like that. So don't let that be a reason why you think you can't do it or something. So that is starting. I also wanted to mention that we have 2 trainings that we've released into the Dream Team page. We are coming to Toledo, Ohio, which is an hour outside of Detroit, which is right outside of Indiana. I mean, like, we're right on the border of like 3 or 4 states. And I highly suggest you register. The tickets are free, but you have to register because we are getting food, and we need to know for the dinner and for Friday night local dinner and then the Saturday lunch, who is coming so that we can get and order the right amount of food, so we're not wasting a bunch of money, because that does come out of my pocket. So we are trying to get a number, so please register. And I highly suggest that if you're within 5 hours, like totally, I would drive farther than that. Totally going to be worth the drive to get in a room with like-minded people and literally be trained for a full day. I've watched people literally stuck or really not going anywhere get to a training like that, and within a matter of months they're in a completely different place, trajectory in their business, because they showed up. So if you can get there, grab a person, grab a friend, get in your car, come. I know some people flying, but definitely register because space is limited. And then there is also a link that if it wasn't put out yesterday, I'll put it out again today. We're going to be in Minnesota by the, if you guys know Mall of America, it's literally the hotel we're doing the training at is right across the street. So anybody within 5 hours of that, I highly suggest get there. And I just wanted to start off the training by mentioning those two, this tonight's Zoom, by mentioning those 2 trainings. And then at the end, I'll mention it again, because I want you guys to make sure that you are registering if you're planning to come. And we're highly encouraging bringing guests if you are local to that area and can get to there. We highly suggest bring a guest. You guys put a guest in a room with a bunch of successful thrivers. That guest is not leaving without it becoming a new team member or a new customer for you. So get there. That's the goal. So tonight I thought we would talk a little bit about, honestly, there's like a couple different topics I wanted to focus on, but I also wanted to kind of make it like a little open forum day where anybody has any questions, anybody has anything like, hi, I want some tips on closing, or I'm having trouble getting new promoters or customers, or how do I, focus on Facebook groups, or how do I, I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things from doing this for a long time. So I thought we'd start off by seeing if anybody has any questions they want to put in the chat. any topics they want me to kind of go over tonight, and I can kind of give you guys some of my thoughts on whatever you're stuck with right now, whatever something is that's holding you back in the business, or it could be any topic. But please, anybody have anything they want to put in the comments? I struggle with getting customers and working promoters. Yeah, that happens. I just realized I earned my trip like a month ago with airfare, and I logged into my cloud office today. And I'm like, oh, where did my customer go? There was a customer that either returned something or they upgraded to promoter. I haven't had a chance to look at, but it took away so that I'm no longer earning my flight. And I'm like, what is happening? Um, I'm like, well, I guess I got to fill in another customer. But yeah, I mean, there's seasons in your business, and there's a lot of reasons why it might be a struggle right now getting customers and promoters. One of those reasons could possibly be time of year. That is very common, where especially the month of July and August, summer months are kind of a little bit tougher because kids are out of school and people aren't as focused, I guess. And they're not on social media as much, so they may not just be seeing your stuff and it's just not in their face. And if you guys were on the Zoom that we did Tuesday, I do a Zoom every Tuesday at noon Eastern where I interview a different leader in the company. We touched a little bit on the fact that, people do have to see something between 8 and 12 times before they actually go, oh, what is that? I want to try it, right? It's kind of like a commercial. Look at your, Facebook stories and your Instagram stories as kind of like a commercial for people. As they look at those every day, you're dripping on them with the fact that you use Thrive and other people use Thrive, and you're dripping on them with stories and stuff like that. And so sometimes it's just seasons in your business and seasons for other people. But I will say that if you've been in the company over a year and you really don't sign customers or promoters, but you feel that you try, we've got to figure out what it is, right? What is that thing that you are doing or aren't doing that would maybe be keeping you in a space where you're not signing people? So one of those things could possibly be lack of consistency, which is so important, you guys. I mean, if you want people to sign up with you, you've got to be consistent with 3 areas. Okay, I want you to write these down. If you plan to grow your business and you want people to sign with you, you have to be consistent with number one, adding new prospects to your social media every single day. You need to get a set number. Okay, so that's number one. Whatever that is for you. If you're working 3 jobs, you got 10 kids, and you literally can put very specific and centered on what are you capable of doing. Is that adding 5 new people a day to Facebook and 20 to Instagram, or whatever that is for you? Um, the more obviously that you can add and build relationships with, that are going to want to take part in your business in some fashion. So, number one is making sure you're adding new people every single day. The second thing that you need to make sure that you are doing is posting. Okay. It's very important that you are posting about your product, posting about the benefits, that what it's doing for you, what it's doing for other people, sharing stories, going live, making sure you're consistent every single day with posting something. Well, even if you're posting a picture of you and your family and they can see your patch in the photo, that is planting a seed. If it's you and your in your stories, and you go live showing how you mix your shake up, and you're not saying buy this, you're just saying, oh my gosh, this is my pro and probiotic, but this is how I do it, it's so yummy. Like a million ways to the beach, like Stacy, you can do to post to drip on people. So that's just that is following up. Okay. People, number two, staying consistent in your stories and your timeline with posting. And number three, following up with people. And when I mean follow up, I mean anybody that you're adding, you need to be keeping track of. And then follow up doesn't mean getting in their inbox saying, hey, have you heard of Thrive? Hey, you want to know about my patch? No, follow up is how are you today? How are last week? Are you feeling better? Hey, I saw that new purse you got. Where did you get that? Hey, I'm looking for a daycare for my kids. I know your kids go to one in the area. Do you like it? Oh my God, I had the same kind of dog. Like following up and planting seeds, that's what you'll follow up with Lavelle prospects is what people are never going to ask you. Hey, what's that patch? Hey, what's that shake you make in the morning? Hey, what's that story? You're always sharing stories, or "Yeah, I saw you went on another vacation, or who pays for your car?" Whatever it is, right? Nobody's going to ask those questions if you're not adding people. And they're definitely not going to ask questions if you're not building relationships to sign customers and promoters. Now, here's the other part. It's going to take time. Okay. Nobody built business. If you read every business book on the planet, it's going to tell you to create a business that's going to create actual wealth for you and your family. It takes 10 to 20 years for most people. We're just lucky that we're in an industry that we can as hard as we want in our spare time, all day if we want. I mean, it is totally up to us. It's already coming into mortar business where we don't know, is this business going to fail or not? Will it still be here in 5 years? Oh my gosh, I have all this competition and market, and oh, I have to keep all come into a solid, proven business model that works. We know it works. Why? Because Lavelle is a debt-free company. And there are people every single day retiring themselves, retiring their husbands. Every year we have new millionaires joining this company, new people hitting that milestone. So what does that mean? You're winning. Okay. You don't have to question, is this going to be here in 5 years? You don't have to question, you know, what if it's not successful for me? No, no, it will be. Why will it be? Because I promise you, whatever your story is, I know someone in this business that first position or a different, but something similar, and the odds they had to be that it can be done. We know you're in the right place, and you've bypassed all of those things that a person would have to deal with if they were to start. I remember I always wanted to open a restaurant when I was waiting tables and bartending. That was kind of my thing. Like, one day I want to wait tables and bartend. That's, I want to own my own place so I don't have to do those things. And then telling me, look, most restaurants don't make it. 80% of new restaurants that start, because that's such a huge, you've got to have something special, right? You got to be different, and people you have to. It's hard. Like, that is a hard industry. We have a product that no one else has. We have a product that has zero competition. You can't go find it in another company, and you certainly can't go, buy it online at any other place and find it. It's ours, and we're the only people that have it. And we have quite a few products that are only exclusive to Lavelle, and in order to get them, you'd have to find a Lavelle promoter. So we don't have to worry about competition like the million other business owners that start a business every year that have to worry about that. You've already been given every single tool. Okay. So now what do we need to do to grow from this place? And this is what you also have to tell yourself. If other people are doing it, we know it can be done, right? A, that question's been answered. B, if other people are doing it, why am I not doing it? Okay, well, I'll give you reasons why. Number one, you haven't been doing it long enough. Number two, you aren't consistent enough. Number three, you're not taking it serious enough. Number four, you're not putting enough time in. Okay. So it's just a matter of, it just may not be. Will it happen for every person on here? Do I fully believe with everything in my heart that every single person on this very Zoom could be a millionaire with Lavelle and make $1 million at some point? 1,000,000,000,000%. No doubt in my mind. I wouldn't be with this company, and I wouldn't share it with every single person I contact with if I did not believe that. I'm a really bad liar, guys. Anybody that knows me knows that. And I could never look in your faces or anyone else's and tell anyone that they could do something I fully didn't believe. However, will everyone do it? No, everyone won't do it because some people are going to quit. Some people quit because, well, they give up on themselves. They don't believe in themselves. They do zero self-development. They're in their own way. Some people quit because friends and family talk them out of it. They don't want them to reach their goals and their dreams. They want them to stay stuck just like them. Some people quit because they're taking advice from people. My favorite saying is, why would you ever take advice from someone when you would not trade your life for theirs? Like, do you want that life? Why are you listening to that person? That's silly, right? People quit. That's what they do, guys. They quit. That's what most world does, is they quit so easy. The sign of the first, time they fall or fail or something scares them, they back out. Okay. So why won't everyone on this call right now be a millionaire? Because you'll quit before you ever get there. And it sucks because you have an opportunity in your hand that anyone, no matter what their background, their culture, I don't care where you've been, what you've done, nothing can stop you in Lavelle. No one can stop you. The only person that can stop you is you. Okay, so quitting is one of those options. The other reason some people will never make $1 million is because, or $10,000 or 5,000, is because they refuse to put in the work. They want to get on the Zooms, and that's an amazing thing, right? And some people are on the Zoom right now, and that's not your goal. Your goal is, look, Lisa, all I want to make is an extra $500 a month, but I promise you, if you add that up in your head, counted by years, at some point you'll hit $1 million. You will. You'll be alive to see that with that consistent of income. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a 12K and a 40K that walked across the stage this past year as a millionaire. I think so many people on this Zoom think that you have to be a 200K to ever be a millionaire. No, there was a 12K. Somebody that has consistently held 12K for 7 years, and she is making 12K, is making 80K and 200K paychecks. Why? Because they're not looking up, down, left, right. They're not basing their success off of a rank. They're basing their success off of their personal efforts. What are they doing every day? And they stay consistent and they show up and they hold their rank. You guys have no idea. You can accomplish anything you want. So you're getting either blocked or sidetracked. You're not consistent enough. You're not doing the right actions. You're getting in your own way. So what I want everybody to really do is say, okay, I'm on that 7-year plan. This is where I want to be. For some of you, you want to be 12K. You want to be bringing in an extra $1,000 every month. You want to be bringing in your car covered, maybe your insurance covered too. And that is what would make a huge difference for your family. And you are willing to stick this out and get out of your comfort zone slowly. And you're moving a little slower, but you also understand that you're putting in less time than maybe some other people, and that you're not taking it as serious. It's more of a part-time hobby thing for you that you hope to, in the next 7 years, get to that place. I firmly believe that if every person on here today picks that place, whether that's 200K for you within 7 years, whether that's 80K, 40K, 4K, 12K, whatever that is for you, whether it's, I just like being part of this company. I love these people. I just like getting on a Zoom and getting some self-development and having this community. I promise whatever your goal is, you guys, you will get there as long as you pick your spot and now make a plan to get there. Where do I want to be in 7 years, and what's my plan to get there? And again, it's going to be up to every single person on here. So how do we start signing customers and promoters? Consistency. Making sure that we're doing the 3 things I told you guys about: adding to your network, posting every single day, making sure you're staying consistent, and then following up. If you do those 3 things, eventually someone is going to say, hey, what is that? And then there's, of course, besides those 3 So those three things are some things you should be doing as far as soon as you get someone interested, hooking them up with a third party, making sure you put them in a message with an upline, downline, sideline to share their story. That usually helps seal the deal. Ability to help you push those customers to that next level, or get a brand new promoter in the system. That is probably one of the reasons why you are struggling right now. I have a friend of mine that was just in my inbox the other day, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Lisa, I signed Kimberly. I don't know if you're on here, but she's like, I signed 2 new people." She goes, "That third party validation really works." She got him in a message with our upline Chastity. Look, they asked a question. She said, "Meet my friend Chas." Chas took over, and here they are, 2 new people added to her team. It's just kind of getting over and stop trying to do it your way and start using and utilizing the advice you're getting on these Zooms and things like that. It'll really, really help. And then, of course, making sure that you're adding prospects to customer pages. And I mean, there's a million ways to do it, guys, but none of it can happen without those 3 core things happening daily, not weekly, not monthly, daily. And I will tell you guys that no matter how busy you are, you can work this business into the nooks and cranny of your day. 1 hour every day will get somebody to the income they want to get to within 5 to 7 years. 1 hour a day of consistent, it has to be income producing effort, even if that's split up 5 minutes after lunch, 5 minutes before lunch, and 30 minutes when I get home, 15 minutes when I get up in the morning. But making sure that you're very, very consistent with those 3 things that you have to do daily, those are eventually going to start to grow your business. Let me look in the chat really, really quick. I mean, honestly, that topic of how to get customers and promoters, the last thing I want to end with on that topic is, obviously I could talk on this topic for about 3 hours, but the last thing I want to say is, if you are getting people interested, which means you don't have a problem asking people you want to hear about my business, and you are consistent with the following things that I shared, but when you get people in your inbox, suddenly they don't sign with you. They get interested, but then nothing happens. We're doing something wrong, and we need to figure out what that is. Okay, so I will give you the 3 things that you're probably doing wrong. Number 1, you're either throwing up all over people. What I mean by that is, you're so excited that when they ask a simple question like, "How much is it?" you go into a tangent that's 3 hours long, and you're confusing people and you're pushing them away. So you could be throwing up too much. Number 2 is, you're not saying enough because you don't know enough, or you just don't have that excitement kind of personality to get people that makes them want to go, "Okay, me too. I want to do that too." So it could be you're not saying enough. And then that third reason, it 100% could just be that you are not using third party credibility. Because I promise you, if you do, if you use third party credibility, and if you are, that's how you're going to listen and learn. That's how my new promoters, I tell a new promoter, look, or any promoter on my team that's been with me that isn't strong in an area that I may be strong in. Look, I'm not expecting you to know what you're doing. All I need you to do is get people excited. And when you get anyone interested and they ask that first question, get them in a message with me. Let me take over. Listen to what I say and how I say it and how I'm explaining things. And that's the best way to learn and listen. There's people that have been with me now for 5 years that their strong suit is not closing. They know that about themselves. So they utilize me or other people in Lavelle that are really good at closing. And how do they do that? Well, either by pulling them in again to a 3-way message or call, or they'll say, "Okay, hey Lisa, this girl just sent me this," and they'll screenshot the conversation. What should I say next? And then I will tell them what to say next. So there's several ways to do that, but guaranteed, if you are actually getting people interested and then they're just never signing with you, you need to get with an upline. You need to talk about it, because definitely there's something that you need to be tweaking so that we can get those people signed up. Let me look through here. Samplers and switching to customers. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. sampling, I think a lot of people have gotten away from that. Um, and it's such a shame because people always ask, Lisa, how did you come into Lavelle and how did you go 200K in 30 days? And our team holds the record for the fastest team ever to come into this company and go 200, beat that record. And when I think back to how we did that, it was through sampling. We got 3 days of hope in everybody's hands. Everyone, here you go. Here's 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, because we wanted to make sure that we knew that 8 out of 10 people that could experience the Lavelle product, the Thrive experience for 3 days, they were probably going to feel something enough to go, okay, I want more, or I need to see where this is going to take me next. So it was so important to get samples in people's hands. And I think so many people have gotten away with that. And it's crazy to me because the companies even made it easier. Because when I started, we had no sample mail outs through the cloud office. You had to do it yourself, which meant you had to go buy mailers. You had to, and if you're anything like me, I'm the worst at getting to the post office. It's horrible. So, you have to like print out the labels, go through stamps.com. Like you had to do all that yourself. And now the company has said, look, we want to make this even easier for you. And they've made it to where they will send your customer out the 3-day sample for you. All you have to do, or they have to do, is just go submit their information and boom, it's sent. Yes, is there a fee? Yeah, what, $20 or something? It's like super cheap. That's what I charge for a sample when I do it myself. So and it comes in this cute little packaging and everything. So, what does that look like? How does that process go from sampling someone to getting them signed as a customer, or even getting a sample in their hands? So one of the best bits of advice that I ever got was when I first started in Lavelle, my upline, Chastity Marie. I said to Chas, I want you to tell me everything you do, and I'm going to do exactly that. I'm not going to do it my way. I'm not going to try to cut corners or figure it out differently or think I know better. Whatever you did, obviously you're doing well. I'm going to do the same thing. Why would I ever sit back and try to do things differently or reinvent a wheel that's already been invented, right? So she said, well, one of the first things I do is I set weekly goals. And one of those weekly goals is to send out 5 mini experiences or 5 samples of the Thrive experience. So my goal since signing has always been to get 5 mini experiences out every single week. That's on the forefront of my mind every single week when I'm writing out, okay, this is what I need to get done this week. That is the first thing I write, get out 5 samples. Now, do I always get out 5 samples? No. Sometimes I get out none. Sometimes I get out 8. But the goal is 5, right? Like I want to try to do 5 a week, because if I can get this product in 5 new hands a week, that's 20 new hands a month. Do you all not think? And then that's just if I'm doing 5 days a week, not the 7. Could you all imagine how many new customers and promoters you'd bring into this company if that was just your goal? If that was solely your goal, if you worried about nothing else, if that was the main focus of every single week for you. Well, guess what, guys? That was mine. Okay. I had very little on my to-do list because I knew that to grow my business, it was all about getting this product in people's hands for them to experience it. So there was like 3 things on my list: follow up, add new people to social media, and get out 5 samples this week, whatever it took. I would have samples already bagged up in my big satchel in my car. So in case I went to Walgreens or Walmart and somebody would say, what's that patch? I'd run out to the car and go get one. I'd give one to my waitress. Sometimes I'd leave it as a tip. I'd be like, oh, I left here a $20 tip plus this sample, and with, call me, or, hey, I'm leaving you something. What's your Facebook? I would never leave without getting someone on Facebook and getting a free account set up. And then of course, meeting people through social media, getting out those samples. What would happen though, is that is to get out samples. Obviously, people might go, well, can I try it longer than that? Or, well, can you make money off of this? So that simple goal in my head of getting out 5 samples just organically led to new customers and led to new promoters without me pressuring myself, without me thinking, oh, I've got to sign customers and promoters. It just happens sometimes. Okay. So sometimes my quest to get a sample to my new person on Facebook ended up turning into a new customer. Like they decided, you know what, I want more than just the sample. I'd like to just try the full month. Or, you know what, I've heard of that before and I trust you and let's jump in. I want to earn $1,320 in the next 2 weeks. So set a goal for yourself, whatever an attainable number is for you. I did this full time. I felt 5 was a good amount, right? And for everybody that's different, but whatever you pick, I promise every single time you get a sample of this product in a new person's hands, the likelihood of them signing up at some point in your business goes to 80% higher than if they never would have tried that sample. So at some point, they're going to be thinking about that. At some point, they will join you. Maybe not right that second, but at some point, because they've tasted it, they've had that experience, and they know what they're looking at. So this is what I say. I have a kind of like a way that I do every sale. Okay. So let's say that I just met Jennifer and Jennifer is in the dog group I'm in. And I requested her as a friend outside of Facebook. And when she accepted me, she sent me a message and said, hey, who are you? I said, oh, we're in the dog group together. You posted about an antihistamine for your dog that has sneezing, and I went and got it and Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay. So now I write Jennifer's name down in a book, and that Jennifer's gonna be my new friend. Like I need to build connections with her. All right. So I'm gonna make sure every day when I get up, I go to Jennifer's page in the morning and I scroll through her Facebook and I like some posts and heart some posts. And if something really sticks out to me, and I can be genuine, I'm going to try to get in Jennifer's inbox. Oh, I saw your post on whatever. And I just wanted to say it was so motivational. I needed to hear that today, because the millions is made in Messenger. I want you guys to write that down. Millions is made in Messenger. That's where relationships are truly built, not on someone's timeline where you heart something or make a little comment. Guess what? Your comment does not stick out in a comment of 20 or 30 other people, but it does stick out when you take the time to get in someone's messenger. Okay. And that is where the millions is made. That is where the relationships are built. So my goal is to get in her messenger. In the meantime, though, I've got to make sure that I'm very consistent with my posting in my stories and posting on my timeline, because I'm interacting with Jennifer on Facebook every day. I know that Facebook is showing her my stuff because Facebook says they're friends. They talk every day. So therefore, Jennifer wants to see Lisa's stuff. She must. They talk all the time. And Lisa wants to see Jennifer's stuff, which is great for me because when Jennifer makes a post, if she posts tomorrow, oh, I didn't sleep good last night, boom, I make a mental note of that, because when Thrive does come up, I can say to Jennifer, look, I know you posted you don't sleep. I think I got something for that, something that helped me, right? So I'm learning about Jennifer. We're building that relationship. So the goal is, sorry, my dog wants what toy my other dog has. Stop it. So the goal is me building that relationship. But when Thrive does come up, this is how it goes. Jennifer's in my inbox. Jennifer says, Lisa, I've been seeing your posts. I've been meaning to ask you, what's that patch thing you've been wearing? Oh my gosh, girlfriend, it's amazing. I can't believe we've been talking all this time and I haven't mentioned it to you. I'm so sorry. I apologize, like I've done something wrong. Like, how dare I not share this amazing thing with her? How wrong of me. And I say, well, in using the video or the audio recorder, always speaking so she can hear my voice and my excitement, and so it's not 5 years long to read, I share my story really quick and say, girl, best thing that's ever happened to me. Used to feel like I was 80, now I feel 20. I can't believe how better I sleep, and I'm nicer to my kids, and my aches and discomforts and my knees gone, and 30 pounds gone. Amazing. Okay. I just said that in like 15 seconds. Then I'm like, if you want, I would love to send you a sample so you could try it. And that opens the door to her going, well, what is that? What exactly is it? 3 days? This is what it is. $20. It's normally 30, but for you, I'll do 20. Send it out to you'll get it. It's awesome. But I do have to tell you, I have a better deal that you can try it for 30 days. And I can get you a 20% discount right off the bat. You will not be required to ever run an auto ship, so you do not have to order it ever again if you don't want to, but you're probably going to want it because it's good. I can also help you earn it free if you end up liking it. And I do a money back guarantee. So I tell people, look, the sample, it's going to give you a little taste of what it is, but where 30 days is really going to make you see what this can do for you. So see, I went in for the sample. I told her, but then I said, you know what, though, I want to let you know, we can do this for 30 days. You're not locked into anything. I can get you a huge discount, and then we can see what this stuff is really going to do. Can't guarantee anything with 3 days, but 30 days, you're going to feel something. Then you can see what this can do for you. And then she'll say, oh yeah, you know how many times I've gone in for a sample, then I've said that I just said to you, all you guys. And they go, you know what? I'll do the 30 days. Why wouldn't I? Stupid not to. You're going to give me a discount. I'm not locked into anything, and it's a money back guarantee. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys are probably going, okay, what's this money back getting guarantee thing? I personally offer that. It's my own business. If somebody doesn't like the product, they want to send it to me, I will happily send them their money back. And guess what? No one's ever done that. Ever. I've been offering that since the beginning, and no one has ever done that. Because if they feel anything in 30 days, which they usually feel something, and I'm constantly checking in with my new customer. So I have the proof in writing that they told me on day 13 they slept through the night or they felt more energy. No one's ever come to me asking for it. But it's just that little bit at the end that kind of seals that deal. It makes them feel even more at ease about going ahead and placing that order. And then what I do next is right when they're about to place the order, I'll have them put the order in and I'll tell them, and I got this from Stacy Weisenberger, it's so good. After they put their order in, I'll say, no, don't put your full order in. When you get to the end where you see the total, screenshot it and send it to me so I can make sure everything's right before you hit enter, because I don't want you ordering the wrong thing. I want to make sure it's all right, so it's being sent right and all that. When they send me that screenshot, I'll say, oh my God, looks great. I just have one more quick question for you. Do you want to go ahead and order this as a customer, or do you want to order it as a promoter and make money too? I add that in at the end. 50% of people say, no, I'm all good. And the other 50% say, well, tell me more about that. What is that? What does that mean? And that lets me kind of into that place where they've given me permission to now share a little bit about the business with them. At the very least, I planted a seed about the business. So even though my goal of 5 a week doesn't always happen, on my way to getting those 5, that's usually how I find my new customers and promoters. And it's on accident. It's just part of how I do it. I don't focus on, so I think a lot of people think there's all these things to focus on. You guys, I don't focus on the 20 Zooms I need to listen to, or the recording of. I don't focus on the prices. If you ask me right now what balance costs, I don't even know. Okay. I don't worry about that stuff. Okay. I have to look at it when somebody asks me. I focus on 5 samples a week, making sure I'm posting every day, making sure I'm adding new people every day and I have a set number of what I add, and then making sure that I'm always following up. That's my job every day for my personal business. It isn't more than that. It isn't less than that. And that is what's grown my business to where it is today. It doesn't have to be, I need to read 5 billion books on the topic of sales. It doesn't have to be. When I don't know something, you guys, I utilize someone that does know. I go to the Facebook page, the group page. Hey, anybody have this story or know about this or know what's in this? I go to one of my chats with my uplines. If I have somebody ask me something that I don't know, I put them in a message with another person. I don't sit around worrying about the things I don't know. If I did that, y'all, I never would have got started, because there's a lot I don't know. I focus on what I am good at and getting better at that. And that is the best thing that y'all can do for your businesses, is focus on what you are good at or have potential to be good at, and get better at that. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Probably biggest tip I can give you guys today is push yourself out of your comfort zone every day. This book I'm reading, It says, imagine if you could grow 1% every day. 1% is nothing, right? It seems like nothing. It seems like if a person grew 1% a day, that it would take forever to get to your goal. But that's growing 365% a year. Now, after a year, that adds up, right? After a year, that whole idea of, man, I'm not going anywhere. You really go in places. There's a book I'm going to mention to you guys in case you're new. If you're not new, you've heard me talk about this book before. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It talks about how the little things that you do every single day to work towards a goal may feel like you're getting nowhere, but over time, it's all adding up. And it's kind of like the 1% rule. If you decide to focus every day on growing just 1%, after one full year, you will have grown 365%. What does that mean? Well, I've never done a live video before. I'm going to do a live video today. It may not be me talking. Maybe it's a live video of my dogs running around the front yard, but I'm going to go live. Okay. I just grew 1% because guess what? I've never done that before. And I just pushed myself out of my comfort zone. Tomorrow, I might actually go live and say a word. I just grew 1% because it's more than I did the day before and that I've ever done before that. And I'm going to say 2 words. Now 5. Gosh, in 2 months, y'all will be doing a full video if you keep adding 1 word. Like the thing is so many of you guys are so focused on so much at once that it's overwhelming. And do you want to know what happens when we get overwhelmed? We stay stuck. We don't go anywhere. We kind of sit and go, well, since I really don't know where to start, then we don't get started. What if you just focused on the smallest thing every day that was something new, something that pushed you, that drove you a little bit more today than yesterday? What if every day you did that? Can you imagine? You would grow. But instead, some of you are going, I just want to be at 40K and you haven't even hit 4K yet. No. So you want to be 40K or 200K and you haven't even signed your first customer. No, I need to sign my first customer. What are the steps and what are the things I need to do daily to make that happen? Okay, well, if I want to sign a new customer at some point in my business, it means I need to be meeting people. It means I need to be following up with those people. It means I need to be consistent in posting every single day. And I need to make sure that I am, when they finally message me, that I'm asking my upline what to do next for that guidance. Because since I've never done this before, and I must not be that good at it, or I'd have a million customers, I need guidance from the people that are doing it. And that's what we're here for, guys. We're a team. This isn't about you're in it by yourself. If any of you here think that, that's your own thought process and you're choosing that. Because with network marketing, and especially our business and our team, you are in business for yourself, but you are never in business by yourself. If you feel alone and by yourself and that you're not getting help and support, that is something you are choosing. I don't care if you signed up with somebody that does not help you and disappeared off the face of the earth. That is why God and this company gave you 50 other uplines that you can continue to go to someone else until you find the right person. That's why you were shoved in a team page with a whole lot of thrivers that you can literally make a post and go, you know what? I need a friend. I need an accountability partner. I need somebody that knows about this or that or the other. Who can help me? I promise I've never seen anybody post in there where no one has answered. Someone will go, I got you. I need one. Let's help. Okay. Yep, I know the answer to that question. This is what I would do. Here's what I would say. But the problem is that instead of utilizing what's in front of you guys, instead of getting out there and not making excuses, you are making excuses. And everything that you think is holding you back are things that you're choosing to let hold you back. I work too much. I have too many kids. I don't have time for this business. I don't have any money. Nobody wants to sign with me. Does any of that sound familiar? Because if it does, that's your problem. If that sounds way too familiar and you're on the Zoom tonight, that is one of your problems. It's because you are not self-developing. You're not willing to look past. You want to constantly be reminding yourself and everyone else around you how you can't sign anyone, how no one wants this, how no one will help you, how no one, and you listen to the words that will come out of your mouth when you use these excuses. The words are blaming anybody but you. Because that's what we do as human beings, because it's easier to do that than to really look in the mirror and go, could be me. Could be the fact that I'm just not reaching out, asking for the help. Could be the fact that I have never put anybody in a three-way message. Could be the fact that I'm not consistent on Facebook. Could be the fact that I haven't added anybody in a week. Could be the fact I can keep going, right? Because we kind of all know what we are doing or not doing that's probably holding us back. So what I want you guys to do, I want to leave you with tonight. Look, I covered like 2 questions, because you all know it. There's lots of answers to one question, but I hope it was a little bit helpful to some of you guys on here and gave you guys just a couple tips. But I encourage you guys, number one, to get thing that's coming near you. In the next 3 months, I'm going to be in like 6 different states. Watch for the Eventbrite, get to one of them. Number 2, join the self-development group. If you have not joined my self-development masterclass, why? Why? If you are not where you want to be, that means you need more growth as a person. I'm not where I want to be. I need more growth as a person. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because I'm doing it right along with everybody. Okay. It means you don't have all the answers. There's not a person on this team, including every 200K, that shouldn't be in the self-development challenge. And I'm not going to listen to the people that are in my inbox complaining that didn't even try. Because I'm like, why? This is offered to you. It's not going to take 5 hours a day. I'm talking like 15 minutes a day, like to put into yourself, to grow yourself. But you wouldn't believe what that 15 minutes a day does for 30 days. You won't believe the difference in your mindset and what that will look like and what it will be. The second challenge I have for you, okay, is get someone with you on your team in that self-development challenge too. Okay, you can't do this business alone. You can't grow alone. So if you're doing everything alone, that's a really good indicator that you are not bringing anyone with you. It starts with bringing someone with you. And I don't want to hear, Lisa, I don't have a team. This self-development class course is free to anyone in the world. It's not going to be Lavelle related. We're not going to talk about Lavelle in this. So bring a friend. Do you know what that could lead to? That friend going, wow, that was amazing. And then they're going to want to know more about what you do. And then now you've got a new customer or promoter. In fact, the more you bring with you, don't just do one. Overachievers, millionaires, people that want to go 200K in Lavelle, when they hear a leader say something, they multiply that by 10. That's what I've always done. If somebody tells me I challenge you to do 1, I'm doing 10. If somebody challenges me to do 20, I'm doing 40. Like, that is how I got to where I am today. Okay, so that's number 2. Bring at least one person with you, and that's like either on your team. Everybody on your team should be doing it, period, if they want to succeed. I would be doing anything I could to grow my mind, because in November I'm doing a whole push group. And if y'all have ever been one part of my contest push groups, y'all know your business grows. So you need to get in the right mindset in September in order to grow your business in October. Number 3, I want you guys to make a list today. A list tonight. Don't wait. Start the self-development now. I want you to make a list of your perfect customer and promoter that you're looking for. Tell me everything about them. What would the perfect promoter be? Everything. What color hair, guy, girl, what do they do for a living? How many Facebook friends do they have? What kind of personality do they have? Just tell me all about them. What kind of work ethic? Are they friendly? Are they outgoing? Do they post every day on Facebook? And then after you make that extended list, and don't do it fast. Take time. Take 2 days if you need to. After you have your perfect rock star promoter list, the person you think you're looking for that's going to change your whole business, I want you to then look through that list, and I want you to put a little X next to everything that you are already being. Because I think it's going to be a huge eye opener for everybody on here when they look at how many X's are missing. When they look at how many things they're expecting someone else to be, and they're expecting to find, but they're not being any of those things, or not enough of those things. It's a huge exercise. It's a big eye opener. And I think it'll give you some insight onto the places and the things that you need to be working on in order for your business to start growing in the right direction, or the place that you want it to grow in. So those are my little 3 exercises for you guys. Make sure you enroll in the self-development thing, get in the group, make sure you invite at least one person to come with you in, or not in Lavelle or 20 whatever you want to do. The more you get involved, the more your business is going to grow in October. I promise you that. And last but not least, make that perfect list. And then once you've really taken the time to do that over the next couple of days and you get everything out, then go through that list and see those places where you need to start improving, where you're lacking. How do you expect to attract somebody you're not being? How do you expect to attract someone that you're not even close to doing what you're expecting them to do or be? Huge eye opener. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Thanks, Danny, for recording. Thanks to all of you guys that hopped on tonight. Yes, it's recorded. We'll get the recording out later. Thank you guys that did plug in, even though I literally put this call out 5 minutes before it started. It's been happening now for 5 years, every Thursday at 9 o'clock, same link. With that said, you think people would know by now and they shouldn't need a reminder, but there's some of you that I never not see. Like, dude, I'm looking through these names going, these people show up. And it's a lot of people that are growing right now. Success leaves clues. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you. So I'm not talking to myself. Makes me feel better. And thanks to you guys for plugging your team in, because even more important than you showing up is making sure your people show up, because you can't go anywhere alone. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Self-development group starts next week. So get in there so that you can be with us on our first day. And yes, the workbook is called, it's called the Self-Love Workbook. Literally, if you put in the Self-Love Workbook on Amazon, it's the very first one that pops up. A life-changing guide to boost self-esteem, recognize your worth, and find genuine happiness by Cheyenne Ali, PhD. As soon as you guys enter the self-development Facebook group, there's one question you ask. I will then accept you into the group. Once you're in the group, there's a picture of it right there. Right there is going to be a big old picture of the book. I'm suggesting people get it. You do not have to have it, but it will be nice for people to have right in front of them to follow along and also be able to do the exercises that are in that workbook. Okay, guys, see you guys next week. Thank you.